Hi, I'm Dr. Bhargav Raut from Pathofast Lab in Pune. If you recently had your TORCH blood test report done and some of the parameters in that result are positive, you might be concerned and wondering what is the next course and what treatment can you get for this particular situation. In this video, I'm going to explain to you what a positive result actually means, whether the positive result is even important and should be considered for further treatment, and what treatment options you have as a patient in such a situation. The TORCH test report tests for Toxoplasma, Rubella, cytomegalovirus and herpes viruses. This test is a blood test which is done to find whether you were ever exposed or could be currently having any of these infections. Toxoplasma is a virus. Toxoplasma is a parasite which spreads to human beings through cats. Rubella and cytomegalovirus as well as herpes viruses are all viral infections, most of which spread through droplets, intimate contact, or from the mother to the child. These tests are very important during pregnancy because if it spreads from the mother to the child, it can have very harmful effects on the developing fetus. The tests for TORCH are usually done to find out whether there has been any recent exposure to this infection. The tests usually include IgM and IgG antibodies for all 5 of these infections. The IgM antibodies are more important, and a positive IgM antibody result is usually far more alarming than a positive IgG result. This is because the IgG antibodies are usually present if you have been ever exposed to any of these infections at any point in your life. In our lab, when we do these tests, we generally find most people to be positive for the IgG test for at least one of these 5 infections. It is very rare to find a positive IgM result, and that is because IgM antibodies only show up when an infection was very recent. And that is why treatment options are usually going to only be considered if your IgM test result is positive. Sometimes the IgG and IgM are positive together, but a positive IgM test is actually what we would consider as a positive TORCH test result, except in certain situations. And the treatment for these TORCH infections should only be initiated after the infection is confirmed and in the presence of a positive IgM test result. If you look through your test report, you will find an IgG and IgM test result for each of the 5 infections. So you're going to actually find 10 different rows in your report, and these will be the Toxo IgM, the Toxo IgG, and similarly for the cytomegalo, rubella and herpes 1 and 2 viruses. But what do the results actually mean? IgM and IgG, if both these are negative for all the infections, that's a very good result, and it probably means that you've never been exposed to any of these infections and do not currently have them. IgM negative with an IgG positive, this is one of the most common combinations that we find. So the IgG antibodies are positive for at least one of these infections, whereas the IgM are negative for all of them. That's a good result, and it probably just means that you were exposed to one of these viruses or parasite in the past, and you probably don't need to do anything further. A positive IgM with a negative IgG result is actually alarming because this could indicate a recent infection for whichever one of the 5 gave this result, and it will probably mean that you should be considering treatment. Similarly, a positive IgM together with a positive IgG is also a sign of possibly a recent infection or reactivation of a past infection. Please remember that false positive results with IgM are common and can appear because of a variety of reasons like other antibodies in your blood, and your doctor is best placed to interpret the test report. To drive home this point, here I've included 2 sample reports, one of which contains positive IgG test results and the other one contains positive IgM results. It's only important that you pay attention to those reports which contain a positive IgM test result, because this could indicate a recent infection. In some situations, if your IgG test result is positive, your doctor may ask you to do something called the IgG Avidity Test. I've created a separate video on these tests, but here I'm going to give you a simple idea about what implications it has on your treatment. IgG Avidity tests are a way to tell us the recentness of the infection in case of a positive IgG test result. So let's say your Toxoplasma IgG test result came out to be positive. In most cases, this only indicates that you were exposed to Toxoplasma at some distant point in the past. But your doctor might be concerned based on your history and would really like to know how recent that exposure was. In such a situation, we advise something called the Toxoplasma IgG test with avidity in brackets, which tells us how recent that exposure was. A high avidity generally means an old infection, whereas a low avidity means a recent infection and is more important or more concerning for your doctor. and in such a case, they may still initiate further investigations and or treatment. So the IgG Avidity Test is the first way for us to try to find out how recent the infection was, and is helpful in case, especially in pregnant mothers in the first trimester of pregnancy. Another few tests that you can do to confirm the infection include PCR and amniocentesis. I've created separate videos on all of these tests because these are separate subjects in themselves. But before initiating treatment, especially in a pregnant woman, amniocentesis is a procedure in which a small amount of the fluid that normally surrounds and cushions the developing fetus inside the mother is aspirated by means of a small needle, and we then do further analysis on that fluid. We usually look for real signs of infection in that fluid, because if the child is infected with that disease, the RNA or the DNA of those particular germs will be found in that fluid, and this becomes confirmation of the infection. So RNA or DNA PCR together with amniocentesis is another way to confirm the torch infections in the presence of a positive report before starting the treatment. Another way to get additional evidence that there is definitely an infection in the developing fetus is by ultrasound and neonatal testing. Ultrasound is a non-invasive technique in which a scan is used to find changes in the developing fetus that indicate an infection. There are also other ways to test the neonate or the small or the unborn child or immediately after birth to look for signs that it has been infected, and these should also be done before starting treatment. So if Toxoplasma infection is confirmed in a pregnant woman, what treatment should be started? In the first 18 weeks of the pregnancy, spiramycin is preferred. Thereafter, we have other options like pyrimethamine and sulfadazine, which can be given later on. Folinic acid is a medicine which improves and protects the bone marrow, and early treatment reduces the transmission significantly. The newborn should be treated for at least 1 year after birth. What if the pregnant woman is infected with rubella? Well, there is no real medicine available for rubella. The first 12 weeks of the pregnancy carry the highest risk for the newborn child, for the fetus. It can cause hearing, heart and eye defects, which are very dangerous and can have lifelong impact. Supportive care after birth is important, and MMR vaccine for all pregnant women is a must to prevent these infections. Even for CMV, if the pregnant woman is infected with CMV, the treatment choices are rather limited. Valacyclovir may reduce the transmission from 11% to 30% approximately, depending upon the situation. Hyperimmune globulin is another line of treatment which is being attempted at some centers. And there are, of course, other antivirals that should be given early within the first month of life after the newborn has been delivered, if it is termed that they have been infected with this infection.